Now we're pretty sure it's a Yeezy 380, aren't we? It's a 380, right? It's not a 350 V3. I think we're settled on calling these things the Yeezy 380s. I'm kind of glad about that. When they went back and forth between calling it a 350 V3 and a 380, I was like, please call it a 380, because I think the 350s are absolutely iconic, and I hope the next step in the evolution of that sneaker is something equally iconic. And I do not particularly think these guys are going to go down as an iconic revolutionary sneaker. People are not going to look back at the Adidas Yeezy 380 and sort of reminisce about the drops and things like that. They are a fine looking sneaker. They are obviously well made, and they are a cool sneaker, which I'm appreciating looking at, and I will happily walk through the latest version of that with you guys today, which is the Mist. But I have done a review already about the Aliens, which I put a link to here. And I talked in that Aliens one about where I saw the development from the 350, because at the time that I made that video, they were calling these the 350 V3s, and there were some things I liked, some things I didn't like about them. And now here we've got this Mist coming up, and there's quite a few things in this that I actually do like about it. So I'm looking forward to talking to you guys today about the Adidas Yeezy 380 Mist. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel des. Mainichi yapsuru no de mainichi mite kudasai. Every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today that's no different as we look forward to next decade, if you're watching this in 2019, that they're going to be dropping this Adidas Yeezy 380 Mist. As far as I know, and I'm keeping my finger on the pulse and all that, so I think I'm right in saying that this is the second colorway from the 380 line. The first colorway being those Aliens that I talked about earlier. The Aliens were pretty much a white and grey sneaker, but these guys, we've got some earth tones coming back, some echoes of the earth tones. Now the Yeezy line, 350, 500, 700, for as long as I can remember, has been pretty much rooted in earth tones. We're talking browns, and we're talking greys, and we're talking salt, and we're talking stone, and we're talking all those kind of things. But then towards the middle and end of 2019, we started getting some more hot colorways. Whoa. Somebody's got a motorbike going on outside. With some more hot colorways, a bit more color added into the Yeezy line. I'm surely I've put a picture behind me here of some of the upcoming 350s, and you can see how colorful they are. But then here we have this 380 taking us back to those earth tones. So it's more of a brown colorway, rooted in brown, rooted in that earth colorway. I myself am happy to see that. I like the Yeezys sort of staying in that earthy tone, earthy place, rather than going into that sort of popping colorway, sort of big splashes of color all over the place. I prefer these guys like this, and I'm happy to see them doing that. I'm looking forward to bringing you guys through this. Now today, when I was, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that I research the sneakers before I talk about them. And literally when I was typing up my notes on this guy, I wrote, the laces really pull the sneaker together. Hardy har. I literally typed hardy har, but they do. The laces really do pull this sneaker together. I'm not being literal, I'm being metaphorical. I'm saying that those laces, hopefully there's a picture behind me here that shows you those laces, and it shows you that the color in them, the color in the upper, the color on the midsole, and the color on the outsole, which we're going to look at all of that in today's video. They need those laces up there to give them that sort of center point in color terms. I'm not talking about physically tying the sneaker together. I'm talking about metaphorically how the coloring on those laces and that earth tones helps to bring the other tones in this sneaker all together into one. So today, that's what we're going to be looking at, is that Adidas Yeezy 380 Mist. But before we do that, this is a YouTube channel, and YouTube channels need subscribers, so please do subscribe to the channel below and hit that like button. The like button is a tremendously important thing to YouTubers, so please do like the video, whilst also putting a comment down below. If you type a comment, that is a very helpful thing to do, and I reply to every single comment, although not exactly on the same day, but at least every single comment. And also, if you can share a video like this on Instagram, social media, Facebook, Twitter, those kind of places, it super helps. So if you can do those things for me, I truly appreciate it. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do see at the start of every single video, 登録よろしくお願いします。いいねもクリックすると助かるのでよろしくお願いします。日本語でコメント書くと日本語で返事をしますので、頑張るので、お願いします。あとはソーシャルメディアにシェアすると Twitter とか Instagram とか Facebook とかにシェアすると助かるので、その4点をよろしくお願いします。Okay.Without further ado, let's get into this bad boy and talk about the sneakers. So, I was saying about the colors and about the earth tones and things like that. So, we're going to start off on the upper and looking at that. Now, the upper on these 380s, for me, you could see this was one of the few places where you could see the evolution from the 350s. So that's why I did think that these were 350 V3s, especially when you look at that window on the side, because the window on the side of 350s, there's 350 V1s, there's 350 V2s, and then halfway through the evolution of the 350 V2s, they started putting this window on the side, the translucent stripe. But they didn't call it a V3, they just kept calling them V2s and just added the stripe on the side. And then these guys came out and they called them V3s at first, 350 V3s, but now they're called 380s. But you can see, and hopefully I've put a 350 behind me as well, so that you can see that window effect and how that window effect on the 350s has been carried through into the 380s. Now, it's an important point on these sneakers, not only for the colouring and for the design element that it breaks up that upper on there, but also because if I do this, and we look at the reflective element of the sneakers, it does come with that reflective element. You can see that the window on the side actually does not. I was expecting it to have a bit of pop in it, but it didn't. We've got the upper there, you can see the upper popping in that 3M kind of reflective style, but the midsole and the window on the side definitely do not, which was kind of a surprise to me. I don't know if I like it or not. I'd have to get these guys in hand to find out if I'm interested in that or if I think that's a wasted opportunity, shall we say, them not putting the reflection or the reflective element in the window, but just keeping it only for the upper. But then if we go down from this is one of the major talking points. Personally, I'm growing to like it. Originally, I did not like the flat midsole. Yeezys in general are defined by their midsole usually being something unique. If you think of 350s, it was kind of a ribbed midsole that goes around there. If you think of 500s, that kind of bubble adiprene midsole with lines kind of imprinted on it as well. 700s as well. Just the midsole had a bit of character about it. Whereas these guys, it's so smooth. There's nothing. There's not a single break. There's not like a dimple. If you think of the 700s with like little sort of panels where they colour the panels in, especially the Wave Runners with that orange sort of slim panels towards the back of the midfoot. There's no break at all. It's just really smooth. On the Aliens, I didn't like it. But on these mists, I actually kind of like it. Again, it's to do with that colour. So the colour that comes from the laces, from the upper material, and then into this midfoot section, because it's coloured and it matches in with the rest of the sneaker, I actually do like it. I think it was a bit too white on the Aliens. It was a bit too bright, and that made it pop out. And then it sort of drew your eyes to. It's like, oh, that's kind of big and plain and simple. But on these guys, because of the colouring, it just adds another element to it that I kind of really appreciate. And staying pretty close to that, if we flip them upside down, you can see that the outsole, interesting, there's a lot going on here. I don't know what you guys know about outsoles and stuff, but I've grown to know quite a lot from looking at 400 different outsoles for the channel. And in the case of these guys, you've got the first thing to look at is that it's deeper and a darker brown than just a gum sole outsole. It's a much deeper and richer colour on there, and a deep dark brown outsole. But then you've got these segments on there where you can look through the sort of segments into the boost on the inside. Now this is important to me because of the Yeezy 700 V3s, which have dropped recently and which I did a review about, ding, right there, because one of the signatures of the 700 was an outsole just like these 380s outsoles here, that you could look through to the boost below, but the 700 V3s look through to a blue midsole which is not boost, and that's kind of unusual, a new step forward for the Yeezy line, because the 700s have always had the boost in there and they are not having the boost in there now with the V3s. But then going back to these 380s, you can see that dark brown, more than gum sole brown outsole looks through the midsole and into that boost underneath on there. So you're sure it's going to be a comfortable ride. And that, to me, all of that, like I said about the laces tying the shoe together, if you think about the dark brown outsole, the light brown kind of tan midsole, then the different browns and the colours of the upper, and then those laces that I talked about in that kind of light brown or tan colour, they all work really well together. And that's the thing I really like about this sneaker, is that the different parts of it work well all in together, and I think it's actually a really cool looking sneaker. I didn't, like I said earlier, I didn't like the 380s when they first came out. I thought they were a bit of a letdown, and they weren't an evolution, a step forward. They were just sort of like, whatever. But these guys, actually, I kind of like them. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the earth tones. I don't know if it's the way the colors play off each other or something. But I actually kind of like these guys. So it says that they're going to drop sometime in 2020. What I read was they're going to drop next decade, which is sometime in 2020. So I'm looking forward to these guys coming out. It'd be great to get them in hand and find out if they are as poppin' and as cool as I say they are, as I think they are. So at first look, not a bad looking iteration, not a bad looking development for the Yeezy 380 as they go and sort of expand their range of colorways. For now, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, as I do every single day. Butter Movement people have been checking in. Thank you very much. I was in touch with Shoe Butter the other day. What did he say about the channel? He said, I'm thinking of ways to add value to the channel. So that's interesting. We'll have to see what he comes up with from that. He's a pretty creative guy, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes with that. But for now, though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out the content. As I do this every single day, that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.